Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and thought, is this it? Is this my career? Is this what defines me? That was me in my early 20s, before I joined the police service. And today in this video, I'm going to share a little bit with you about why I joined the police and what I got out of it. So many of you have been asking me this question. I thought I'd actually commit it to video. I'm Brendan from Bluelight, and over the past 26 years, I've been supporting people in promotion boards, specialist interviews in the police, and over the past decade, I've been supporting people just like you who want to join the police. So, the big why, it's so important to know your why. And if you're in that position now thinking, what's my future going to look like? And when I retire, what am I going to think about my career and what will have defined me? What could I have been proud of? Because now I'm in a position where I'm on the other side and I'm incredibly proud of my career within the police service. But like I said, it wasn't always something I was destined to do. It all started with me dropping out of university. I had an offer originally to do medicine. I didn't want to be a doctor. My mum and dad wanted me to be a doctor. I didn't. And instead of medicine, because I didn't get enough points on my A-levels, I did biochemistry and microbiology. I was always destined to drop out. I absolutely hated it. But whilst I was at university, I joined the reserves for the Navy. And that was something that gave me life. It's something that really, really inspired me and motivated me. And so that's the thing I thought I was going to do, until I spoke to some serving naval officers who talked to me about how you're not really going to have much of a home life. And I kind of liked my home life. And so through a discussion with my granddad, who was kind of giving me that metaphorical boot up the backside to get something done with my life, don't be stuck in that sales job because it's not going to lead you anywhere. He spoke to me about my Uncle George. I never knew my Uncle George. He was a chief inspector in Staffordshire Constabulary. He passed away when I was young. But what my granddad told me about my uncle inspired me, motivated me, but I was still torn between the two. Royal Navy on one side, police on the other. And so I applied for them both on the same day. Really cocksure of myself, as I remember posting the two applications through the letterbox. And I posted them through the letterbox and said to myself, the first one that accepts me is the one I'll join. Well, fortunately, after a grueling process involving days worth of interviews and assessments and 3 days and 2 nights in the Welsh Mountains, getting absolutely beasted by the recruitment staff at the Cheshire Constabulary, I succeeded in that process and joined the Cheshire Constabulary in 1985. And from that point on, I didn't look back. I absolutely loved it. I was in my early 20s, locking up the bad guys, bringing them to justice, but also learning that there's more to policing than just catching criminals, although that's a really important part of it. Let's not forget that, folks. A really important part of you being a police officer is arresting people who've harmed the community and bringing them to justice. But at the same time, I started finding out that a lot of people who are vulnerable out there need the support of the police. And supporting people who are vulnerable, including those people who I arrested, was something that gave me a great deal of satisfaction. I moved on from there to join the Bermuda Police, where I ended up working in their special branch. Oh my goodness. And yes, it was amazing. And yes, we did wear shorts. And after that, I came back to make good use of my sergeant's exam, which I'd sat with just 2 years service, came 48th in the country. I know, but I showed I could do something. I was proud that I'd succeeded in something. I'd found my niche. And so I came back and joined Greater Manchester Police, where I did so many other amazing things, from staff officer to going into training, which is what inspired me to go into coaching people just like you. I served as a neighbourhood inspector, which was my absolute love of policing. I spent 8 years in neighbourhood policing as an inspector. I absolutely loved it. Taking on organised crime gangs, the satisfaction of knowing that someone who was really harming the community has now been brought to justice, and it's likely that they're going to go to jail, and it's highly likely that we're going to strip their assets off them. But then finding ways to return those assets, those financial assets, back into the community, enabling the community to be the best version of itself it can be. And then going on, once I retired, to do that kind of work with the European Union, speaking at conferences, working with police forces and councils to support them in a more asset-based approach to problem solving and community engagement. But the thing that I really love, and the thing I still get the most satisfaction out of, is coaching and supporting people just like you. So check the links below to the services Come and join me on those online courses, on the webinars, where you'll get to practice with me. 26 years worth of coaching experience. There's not one part of the assessment process, the recruitment process, that I'm not familiar with. There's not one part that I can't give you the best advice ever. And it's not the sort of cliched nonsense that you might find elsewhere. It's based on the certainty of what works that I've been developing over almost 3 decades, over 37 years worth of experience in the police sector. This is what's going to enable you to succeed. And I'm so convinced that my webinars, the online courses, the one-to-ones will make you succeed, that if you don't pass and you've done the work I've asked you to do, I will give you a full refund. I've only given 2 refunds this year, and one of them came back, paid for the services again, and passed. That's how good my services are. And don't just take my word for it. Check the Trustpilot reviews below. See what other people are saying about my services. Come and be part of that success story. Join me on the webinars. Come and practice with me. Make the mistakes with me, not on the day of your interview or your assessment centre. I'll catch up with you very soon, folks. Oh yes, and don't forget to subscribe. There's a button over there somewhere. I'll catch up with you with one of the webinars. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye for now.